Shane Van Gisbergen has gone and done it. The man scores a 60-year first by winning on debut in the NASCAR Cup Series at the Chicago Street Track. And honestly, I think this has literally solved world peace. It seems everyone and their grandma is rejoicing in the fact that SVG has won, highlighting Kiwi talent to the world, even if Australia has basically adopted him as one of ours, which is a complete culture shock from the usual Facebook comment sections under each supercar posts. It seems that anything SVG drives, he can win in, and the race at Chicago was no different. From dropping as far back as 18th, I believe, off one of the restarts, SVG made his way through the pack, and in the dying stages of the race, went on to take the lead. You know, even just watching the race, you can see typical SVG fashion of racing, waiting for the right moment to pounce and make his moves, very similar to how he drives in the Supercar Championship. And the coverage of the race all over the world and here in Australia was fantastic. I didn't even know, but fucking Jenson Button was racing that weekend too. The only time we noticed is when he tried to say hello to Joey Logano in the pit entry. And the track, being the first time NASCAR has run on a street course, I think these circuits will become a staple of the NASCAR calendar in the future, with many people being very conservative and very negative of the idea to begin with, and now in complete support. And to be honest with you, of course, the rain helps spice things up too. With the tire barriers, getting some work out, I swear, like every couple laps, there was just somebody going into the tire barrier. Overall, this weekend was a massive success, not only for NASCAR in America, but for Australian supercars and the whole Australian motorsport industry as a whole. But the question remaining now is, will V8 Supercars see the departure of the three-time champion soon? Well, honestly, looking between the lines, I reckon SVG will 100% leave at the end of at the end of 2024, or even perhaps the 23 season. In the post-race interview, SVG even said himself he's got one more year in Australia and then he'd love to come to the United States. And even in the press conference after the race, he just seemed completely different to what he's usually like in Australia. Much more relaxed, much more feeling like he's at home. And honestly, it's going to be kind of sad if SVG decides to leave. So yeah, another great Aussie/Kiwi driver being lured over to the United States, probably. Bringing up a pretty big issue for motorsports in Australia, which I'll probably end up making a video on soon, but that's for another time, because that's a big kettle of fish that we got to get into. Overall though, what a fantastic weekend of motorsport action in America, and it honestly highlights the talent that we have here in Australia, and hopefully opens the floodgates to seeing many more drivers go over there and attend NASCAR races.